Hello, everyone.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Welcome back. Happy October. This is the first edition of the Attractions Podcast for October 2023, which means Halloween season's officially over and we're now talking Christmas, right? Is that?
Yes, that
Yeah.
is literally every meme that I saw yesterday.
Oh my God. Yeah, we went shopping and all of the Halloween stuff, by the last weekend of September, all the Halloween stuff's being pulled off the shelves and it's all being replaced by Christmas already. Can
Well,
we?
to be fair, we have been Halloweening for 2 months. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's check in real quick with some of the folks who we have in the chat. Mr. Fox was here bright and early half an hour ago. Hello. Cindy Bingham, hope you are feeling better.
yes,
Great to see you here. Um, Quentin Jones, thank you for subscribing. We
thank
really
you.
appreciate that. And our friend Michael Bingham here, as always, excited for a brand new episode. Let's go. Thank you for checking in, John Self. We will do our best to have a good podcast. And we've got almost a dozen people here. So I don't know. What do you say we save the chit chat for the actual podcast and jump right into it, shall
Yes,
we?
let's
All
do it.
right. We're going to kick off this recording in three, two.
Please lower your head and watch your step while boarding.
Welcome to the Attractions Podcast. You are all clear for dispatch. Have fun.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 211 of the Attractions Podcast, sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. I am Seth.
And I'm Carly.
And we are here to talk to you about the latest and greatest in theme park news and more, as well as what is going on in our own lives. And Carly, our global traveler, where have you been off to this past week?
Yes, so I had a fun whirlwind 48 hours at the Disneyland Resort for a very good reason, research.
Of course.
We opened the Villas at Disneyland Hotel, which is the new tower there, and I got to be one of the first people to stay there. So
Did it have that new hotel room smell? Still have the volatile organic compounds coming out of the wallpaper. Oh, lovely. Love
it
it.
was really fun.
It's like new car smell.
Yes, like I'm very anal about wearing shoes in a hotel room because it just grosses me out. And I'm like, I could walk on this floor because no one has really been here except for construction workers. And then the shower, touch the tile. It is beautiful.
So this is the new Disney Vacation Club towers that have been attached to the classic Disneyland Hotel. And you can rent rooms without being a DVC member, but I think that the DVC portion is it's sold out real quick. I think those got snapped up.
So it is a limited stock for non-DVC if you want to pay cash. If you go to the website, I was even trying to play around to look at prices and stuff. There's nothing comes up because it's been booked out. It is beautiful. It's only 340 rooms, so it has that boutique hotel feel. You would love it because it's mid-century modern.
Oh, I love it. Well, the classic Disneyland hotel, the rooms, they've been redecorated many times over the years, but they still have a kind of 1960s feel in terms of the design. The walls are a bit thin. You can sometimes hear their neighbors. The layout of the bathroom, not ideal. So you say it's got a mid-century modern style, but is the construction, the layout a little bit more modern?
Absolutely. It was very interesting the way that they've kind of blended mid-century modern with contemporary design. They really nailed it. I actually wrote a review for Attractions that should be coming out any moment now.
Excellent.
They really, the rooms are heavily wood, but then they have pops, accents of color, turquoise, yellow. The integration of animation is everywhere, but also very subtle. It is really just unlike anything that I have experienced before with Disney, and they did a really good job. There's a new pool, pool bar, a splash pad themed to Steamboat Willie with that
Which
actually
looks adorable.
off. Yes.
Looks adorable.
Yes. And you're like 10 steps from Trader Sam's. So I mean, really, what more could I want?
What more could you possibly want?
Nothing else. Yeah.
I am going to be out there in a couple weeks, and I will definitely sneak in and walk around and take some pictures. Will not be staying in room. Did you happen to get a look into one of the small rooms they have similar to the Riviera, where it's like they've got like a pull down bed instead of a full bedroom?
So these ones are even a little bit more compact than the Riviera ones.
Okay.
But with that Murphy bed, it really does feel okay. And some of them had balconies, and that was actually one of the rooms that I went into, and I was like, you can make this work. I mean, it's definitely for 2 people.
Sure.
Yeah,
not if you've got kids, but
right.
if you're solo or a couple.
Yes, exactly. And it's Jungle Book themed, so it's adorable. So
that's great. Well, I hope someday I get to sleep there. I'm definitely going to be checking it out. My week was not nearly as exciting as yours, but I did get to go to Epcot and experience both a preview of Journey of Water, inspired by Moana, which I think is maybe my favorite new thing they've added to Epcot in years.
wow.
I'm not going to do Ratatouille or Guardians every single time I go to the park, but I can see myself walking through Journey of Water every time. It's what Epcot really needs to put the park into the theme park. Epcot is so much concrete, so much angles, so much steel and glass, and this is just lush. It's landscaping. It feels alive and natural. It's like the best parts of Pandora and Cars Land in terms of the rock work.
Wow.
And you can choose to interact with the water, or you can stay dry. You can kind of experience it however you want. And it's really, I feel like it is going back to that old school Epcot ideal of being educational without being boring.
Edutainment.
Edutainment in the best sense.
Yeah.
I gotta say, it's very nice during the day, but you have to check it out at night. The last hour after sunset, when they have it all lit up, it's one of the most beautiful things that Disney's done in years. And the combination of getting to do that and also getting to ride Soarin' over California, which I gotta say looks even better at Epcot than it did just this past spring at the Food and Wine Festival at California Adventure.
Wow.
Projection, it was much sharper and cleaner. They need to do some cleaning on the screens in California, but it looked great in Epcot. It smelled great. Love those oranges. Love that pine scent. So it's great to have that back, and I hope it sticks around. The only sad part of my week was, I never got a chance to ride on the Galactic Star Cruiser, but it had its final voyage, and I did go to Hollywood Studios on the last day that guests on the Halcyon were wandering around Batuu, and there was kind of an alumni reunion of people who were really hardcore into Galactic Star Cruiser. Those who didn't actually book the final cruise showed up and did a big group picture and kind of waved farewell to the people who were on the last cruise. And it makes me sad and angry to see how all that ended. And I just I hope all my friends who were part of the crew all landed safely, all got into their escape pods and made it out safe. That's all I got to say.
Absolutely. No, well said. Yeah, it's definitely sad. I think it's because we love live performances and support actors and whatnot. So that is a really sad part. So
yeah, it's the people who made that live and breathe all did everything they were asked to do, executed to 100%. Those folks are out of a job. The people in marketing and accounting who were the ones who actually made the mistakes, they're all still employed as far as I know. So
right. So we're never going to get an Adventures Club Part 2. This just makes me really sad.
You know what? I wrote an article about this for the Orlando Weekly, and I said the one thing that gives me hope is that there are a lot of talented people now that Universal has an opportunity to scoop up and make part of Epic Universe. We've heard a lot of leaks about the rides, the hardware, the infrastructure of Epic Universe, but I think there's going to be a lot going on with interactive live entertainment that we haven't heard about, and there's going to be huge opportunities. A lot of talented people right now looking for jobs, and I think that some of them might find a home there. That's my hope.
Fingers crossed.
Well, before before we get even further sidetracked, I think without any further ado, we should jump straight into the news in the queue. All right, we're going to start out this week in Walt Disney World, where they have just announced a new seasonal pass for their water parks, which are a really great deal if you want to visit Typhoon Lagoon or Blizzard Beach between now and late May of 2024. You can go visit those parks as often as you want, as long as they're open. All the way up until the start of the summer for only $79, which is just a little bit more than a regular one-day pass.
Right. This is a great deal. You don't want to go to water parks in the summer. If you've ever been to any of them, Volcano Bay even, it is very busy in the summer.
There are only two good times to be in a water park during the summer, and that is either right at rope drop for like the first hour or so, or after it rains and everyone leaves, and then you can slide in for the last couple hours. But the middle of the day, not a lot of fun.
No, yeah. Now it's water park season. This is when people know when to go.
Yes.
Highly themed. It is really like, I can't stress enough how important it is if you're doing a full vacation to Walt Disney World, Universal, how important it is to have those buff days where you could relax.
Yes, you cannot do the dry parks day after day after day.
No.
You need a pool day or a water park day or a mini golf day, whatever it is, to unwind. So this is a great way. And if you're a local, this is a really good deal. If you don't have a pool in your house, this would be a great way to get some laps in and cool off. Because honestly, we might have a couple days in the winter when it is cold enough for the parks, the water parks, to close entirely. That does happen. But for the most part, through our fall is like most places summer, so you can keep swimming right on through October, November, even into December, no problem.
Right, and for that price, I mean, you can't beat that.
Absolutely. Keep in mind that this pass is valid for either Typhoon Lagoon or Blizzard Beach, whichever happens to be open, because back in the day they used to keep both water parks open, but ever since COVID, it's pretty much been one or the other. So right now, Typhoon Lagoon is running, Blizzard Beach is closed. It sounds like a little later this year they're going to swap that. Typhoon will go down for its refurbishment. So you can hit one now, hit one in a couple months, and still, it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, get some mini donuts and relax.
I actually have not been to Blizzard Beach since they gave it this kind of frozen refurbishment last year. So, I've got my Volcano Bay water park pass, and I've got a pool in my house, so it's not often that I feel the need to go to a Disney water park. But this might be a good reason to check it out.
Definitely, and a good deal.
Yep. Next up, this one is for anyone listening who is in London or anywhere in the UK and want to travel a little. If you are a fan of Marvel television shows, the TVA Experience, inspired by the second season of Loki, is coming to London, celebrating the October 5th debut of Loki Season 2 on Disney+. This is a one-day only pop-up event that is happening on October 7th, and it is occurring at the OXO2 facility on London's South Bank. tickets are already seem to have been claimed for this, though there are going to be some walk-up opportunities with limited capacity. But boy, I wish they'd bring something like this to Florida, or at least somewhere in the States.
Right. And I'm honestly surprised that it's just a 1 day thing.
Yeah, it seems like a whole lot of effort for just one
Right.
day.
Yeah.
So what it's going to happen, if you've watched the first season of Loki or seen the trailers for season 2, you know about the TVA, the Time Variance Authority. Well, you can be processed through the TVA, just like characters in the show, and receive guidance traveling through several areas, including the Repairs and Advancements set and the Automat, which I think is the coolest set that they've featured. You can even have a slice of key lime pie. And this is a free experience, but like I said, it's limited. If you want to go to disneytickets.co.uk, you can try to see what is available, but it seems like this is going to be a very hot ticket.
Absolutely. Yeah, maybe this will set the stage for doing some more of them.
I wish. There's Secret Cinema does these kind of events all around the world where they've done Star Wars and Back to the Future and things where they create an immersive environment for watching a movie. And I would love to see Disney and Marvel get in on those kind of experiences. So, like we said, Loki Season 2 debuts October 5th. This is happening on October 7th. The experience looks like it's going to last about 45 minutes, and there will be timed admission. It's for guests. If you are under the age of 14, you've got to have an adult with you. And DisneyTickets.co.uk.
Good luck.
Good luck. May the odds be in your favor.
It's just tough for that.
Something that's Disney related that will be a little more accessible is the upcoming animated film Wish. And Walt Disney Animation Studios recently held an event at Los Angeles's El Capitan Theater celebrating the company's 100-year legacy of animation and talking about how some of the past animated classics inspired this new film. It's kind of rare that they have an event like this. That they held it on September 21st. We were lucky enough to have our reporter Melanie Gable in attendance, and she wrote a really great, very long, detailed article. So I encourage you to go and visit attractionsmagazine.com. There's lots of great artwork. We should point out that this did happen during the strike. The SAG-AFTRA strike is still ongoing. The WGA strike ended after this was took place, but the talent that participated in it were not under the union authority preventing them from participating in this. So just to note that.
It is very hard to keep up with.
Yes. But in this article, you'll see a little bit of information about the story of the film, which follows the teenage heroine Asha, who is voiced by Oscar winner Ariana DeBose from West Side Story. And it also features Chris Pine as King Magnifico, as she challenges him for rule of the magical land of Rosas. So most of this this panel was kind of showing comparisons between the artwork in this new film and artwork from Disney classics like Pinocchio, Alice in Wonderland, and Sleeping Beauty, and kind of drawing a line between the legacy of the art from then to now. Some really interesting stuff. I encourage you to go and check this out. Are you excited about this film? I honestly have. I've seen little teasers, but I've seen very little of it.
Right, same. The hype for it has definitely gotten me ready for it. It seems like it's going to be a real banger. Like I hope so. I think so, but I mean, you never know. But I really do feel like they're building it up to be like that magnitude.
You know, I gotta say, maybe I'm just old, or at least old school. I miss when Disney's animated films had a very distinct look that was different from Pixar. And I feel like over the last decade, Disney animation
Kind of,
has be kind of it's gotten blurry, and Disney animation has looked more and more just like Pixar CGI. And I like that this, at least from what we've seen, really seems to be using CGI tools to create more of a traditional Disney look. I think the last one that we had that really went for that was Tangled.
yeah.
And so it's nice to see them kind of going back to their roots and trying to deliberately go for a more analog, handcrafted look, especially with these backgrounds. So,
Yeah, no, it looks beautiful.
yep.
I know some people previewed a bit of it at D23, and
hmm
everyone said it was amazing. So I'm definitely hyped for this.
And of course, it's going to have music. Grammy-nominated composer Julia Michaels wrote 7 original songs. So they're this has definitely got potential to be a big hit. And they're talking about how this kind of will lead into the next 100 years of Disney animation. Hope we're all around to see that.
We'll be here.
Yep. Okay, so if you want, like I said, more information about this event or this film, which opens in theaters nationwide on November 22nd, look online for the official trailer, which we have along with the rest of this article at attractionsmagazine.com. Moving away from Disney out to the heartland, Cedar Fair is opening a new Cedar Point Esports gaming facility next month. Cedar Fair for their amusement parks and their water parks. Well, they also have a sports facility that is gaining a new esports gaming venue with virtual experiences that are opening up in Sandusky, Ohio on October 6th. I
Yeah.
was not aware that this was part of the Cedar Fair portfolio, but it looks like this is part of a sports center that will be over 1,000 square feet with 32 state-of-the-art gaming stations, all the latest hardware and peripherals. Definitely something different from the roller coasters I usually associate with them.
Right. Yeah, this is very Disney Quest. Yeah,
Yes.
I hadn't heard about this until reading, and I was just like, my mind was a little blown. But I'm also not shocked as we're seeing parks, major companies move into different territories and
hmm
these mini parks, these micro parks. So it kind of just feels all part of the trend that's going on now.
Yeah, and we actually saw also something similar coming into Las Vegas in just the last few years. A
Right.
number of virtual reality and esports gaming facilities. It looks like this one is set up for both individual play and also so they can host large-scale competitions, which believe it or not, there's a lot of money in esports. A lot of big dollar competitions. And it seems like they are going to be focusing on group rentals and also organizing leagues, camps, and clinics for aspiring esports athletes. They
Very
want
cool.
to become the sport for gaming events in the area, including high school and gaming events. They partnered with North Coast Entertainment on this. And pricing is pretty reasonable. You can walk in as an individual and get a game pass for $10 an hour on weekdays or 12 on the weekends.
Wow. When you compare that to like a Dave and Buster's where I can spend
Yeah,
$200 in like 10 minutes, like,
absolutely, absolutely. If you want more information about this, cedarpointsports.com is the website to check out. And you can also find information about all of Cedar Fair's attractions all across the country, from Knott's Berry Farm over to Carowinds, which I think you know a little bit about.
mhm.
All right. Speaking of immersive virtual experiences, Sandbox VR, which I have experienced in Las Vegas, is introducing a new immersive Squid Game VR experience. And if you have watched Squid Game on Netflix, the extremely violent dystopian Korean drama about a homicidal game show, I guess it is better to experience this in VR than if they came up
I
with
would
like
say
a
so.
real life version of it. But boy, if you know this, they play a deadly version of the playground game Red Light Green Light. They have a treacherous cross the glass bridge game, and you will get to experience these through virtual reality. God bless
Very,
you.
very
More
neat.
power to you.
Yes. Yeah, I'm kind of actually surprised that we're just hearing this now because I feel like the Squid Games phenomenon was just like so
I
hot for a long period of time.
Yeah, I feel like this kind of peaked a little bit ago,
Yeah.
but it looks like it is debuting now, and it looks like they have recreated some iconic environments and scenes from the show in virtual reality. And they are using Sandbox VR's patented full body tracking system combined with haptics to sort of capture your not just your hands or your face, but your whole body gets to interact with the Squid Games. The haptic vest, I tried this myself with one of their Star Trek Discovery
Mhm.
games, and you kind of have a thing that vibrates. So if you get hit by if you get hit by a phaser beam, you kind of feel it. I can imagine that here you get, I don't know, machine gunned to death. Maybe you'll get
I
punched
all
in
I
the
know is I
chest.
love the word haptic, and I feel
Yeah.
like it's been in our lives heavily since Magic Band Plus. So
Yes. All about the haptics.
all about the haptics.
The one thing that I did think was really cool about Sandbox VR is that they've got cameras in the room, and at the end they give you a video, a digital video of you in the game, and they sort of do mixed reality shots, so they sort of put you into the
Wow. Hmm.
it was really neat because you get to the end of one of these VR experiences, and they're always very hard to explain to someone, what it looked like, what it felt like. So that's a neat little bonus that you get, this little personal highlights with your reactions and stuff. So you can check this out at various Sandbox VR locations. You can find out where those are by going to sandboxvr.com. All right, couple more stories for you. SeaWorld San Diego is going to be debuting an all-new Jellyfish Experience in 2024 that will be the first exhibit of its kind in any SeaWorld park, and it's going to star an 18-foot tall cylinder full of jellies, which will be among the tallest of its kind anywhere in the country.
This is really neat. Just based
Mhm.
on the artist renderings, I'm like, I don't know why I just read this. I was like, this is something I would actually go to SeaWorld San Diego to see. This is unique and really different, and I think it'll look really cool once they put it in like an immersive atmosphere.
I have always had a soft spot for jellyfish.
Yes.
Pun intended. I especially love, it looks like over here they might have one of these aquariums where they project a black light onto them. A lot of them, kind of iridesce or glow in dark light. And I always love that. And, I'm a big, my favorite part of the Finding Nemo rides in Disneyland and Epcot is always the jellyfish scene. My favorite
Yeah.
part of that movie. And just being surrounded by both artistic jellyfish and real live jellyfish sounds like a lot of fun. And
Yes. Same. Yeah.
it's nice seeing a SeaWorld park putting in something that is not just a roller coaster. We've had a lot
Right.
of those lately. It's great seeing them get back to marine animal habitats.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think this will be a really great addition. I mean, it's such a good, like, family friendly park. And I feel
Mhm.
like it flies under the radar a little bit in Southern California, but it is a great park. And again, yes, it's nice to not just have roller coaster, roller coaster, roller coaster.
Hmm.
This is something you could probably take your kids in, and they'll spend a large chunk of time in there just looking around.
For sure. In addition to that giant column of jellies, there are also gallery walls and a ceiling covered with LED digital video panels.
Ooh.
So you'll have moving sea creatures all around you. And there's a photo op with a 10-foot tall acrylic living arch of jellyfish that you can walk through from multiple different angles, perfect for selfies. There'll be behind the scenes tours led by a scientist, and there'll also be a hands-on experience. I'm not sure what kind of jellyfish you can go
Ooh.
hands-on with without getting stung, but that should be really cool. And all of this, you can experience all this before anyone else if you are a annual pass member at SeaWorld San Diego. And those passes start as low as $13.25 a month.
Much cheaper than my Disney World annual pass.
Oh, for sure, for sure. That's definitely a
That hurt me.
bargain if you're in that area. If you want more information about this upcoming attraction or their newest roller coaster, Arctic Rescue, which opened over the summer, you can visit SeaWorldSanDiego.com. Another piece of SeaWorld news, this one coming from San Antonio. We've talked before about Catapult Falls, which is planned to be the world's first launched flume coaster. We're hoping to get to ride that in late 2023, but we now know that that is going to be launching for the first time in spring of 2024.
I am really excited for this. I don't know, launched water coaster. I mean, there's a lot going on here.
Mhm.
So I'm curious to see what the sensation is going to be like.
I'm not totally shocked that they have delayed this because you're talking about something that is, first, it's North America's only vertical lift for a water coaster. I'm not sure exactly how they define that because I know we have other kind of rides like
Silver Dollar
the-
City.
yeah, that have vertical lifts, but see how they define that. But they also claim that it's the world's steepest drop in a flume ride. It looks like it's got a lot of moving parts. So the fact that it has been delayed, they are saying that they want to ensure that the one-of-a-kind water flume coaster is perfected in every part of the experience. And they hope that guests are going to agree that it was worth the wait when it finally does start running next spring. It does look like it is going to definitely be a bucket list attraction for people who are fans of unique water rides.
Mhm.
And hopefully with 11 boats, each boat holding 8 riders, it will have decent capacity because I can see long lines forming for this when it finally
Absolutely.
does
And
debut.
it's so hot there. So
Oh yeah, oh
this
yeah.
is gonna be great.
A few little statistics to whet your appetite. You are going to be catapulted through a launch at up to 30 feet per second. And you're going to go through a bunch of twists and turns, go up a elevator that they call the only system of its kind on the continent, shooting you up 7 feet per second. And then you will drop from a height of over 55 feet down an angle of 53 degrees, what they call the world's steepest flume drop. And you're going to hit that splashdown at over 37 miles per hour. So I'm sure it will soak you and anyone who is standing on the bridge that looks over this. This is one of those attractions that is just as important for the spectators wanting to get splashed down as the people actually riding it.
It looks really great. I think this is going to be a good addition to the park. It's already a really beautiful park, but I think this will be great.
And just like in SeaWorld San Diego, SeaWorld San Antonio annual pass members, or rather seasonal pass members, since this is a seasonal park, they will, by purchasing their 2024 ticket, they will get to be the first to ride. And also as a makeup, if you are a 2023 pass member, you will get a complimentary ticket to ride during the grand opening in 2024, which I think
Pretty good
is
deal.
really generous of them. Of course, if you get a season pass now, you'll get unlimited admission to all of 2024 to both SeaWorld San Antonio and the Aquatica Water Park there. And those are as little as you can upgrade to an annual pass for as little as $7.99 a month. That
Wow.
is dirt cheap. It's when I look at my bills for my Orlando annual passes,
They hurt now. I used to not notice
right?
them. They hurt now.
Right. Anyway, if you want more information, you can head on over to SeaWorld.com/San-Antonio. And we are going to wrap up our news in the queue this week with the Anaheim Fall Festival, which, believe it or not, is celebrating its 100th anniversary in Southern California on Saturday, October 28th. I know it might be hard to believe that Anaheim, the city, actually existed before Disneyland. But yes, there was something there before Disneyland. And for, I guess this is the 100th anniversary. But it says that the parade will be marching down the streets for its 99th year. So I guess they took a year off during COVID. Or I guess their annual parade is celebrating 99 years. The festival and the parade are celebrating their back-to-back 100-year anniversaries. So that's a little complicated to try to read. But either way, it is going to be taking folks back in time. And this year's festivities will have a authentic, handmade, citizen-centric design with a nod to the 1950s, but still representing the cultural diversity of today's Anaheim.
Very cool. Yeah, it is very interesting. When I saw that, I couldn't believe it was 100 years because I just think of like orange groves and nothing,
Mm-hmm. And I just love looking back at these old-fashioned Halloween parade pictures that kind of take you back to a time before intellectual properties dominated all of Halloween. I always think back to the movie E.T. and the Halloween scene there, where all the kids are dressed as like ghosts and goblins and witches and generic characters, and then there's the one Yoda. There's the kid dressed in the Yoda mask. And I remember that really jumping out at me as a kid, because shortly after that, like every single kid for Halloween was dressed up as something from Star Wars or E.T. We never went back. But this is kind of like a fun glimpse back in history, when you didn't need a branded costume. It was okay to just be a jack-o'-lantern or a scary cat. Or a not so scary cat. Anyway, so this festival occurs on the Center Street Promenade in downtown Anaheim, from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., and then it's followed by the parade kickoff at 7 p.m., all taking place on Saturday, October 28th. The step-off of the parade is at Broadway in Anaheim, and it goes all the way down Harbor Boulevard, and then it heads west on Broadway to Manchester. If you want a route map or any more information about this, go on over to AnaheimFallFestival.org. All right, that will bring us to the end of the news in the queue for this week. Before we get to this week's main attraction, it's time to hear a word from our sponsors.
The Attractions Podcast is brought to you by MEI and MouseFan Travel. Whether your next vacation is a magical trip to the theme parks, an exciting adventure to the pyramids of Egypt, or just a relaxing cruise on the turquoise waters of the Bahamas, MEI Travel provides premium service and expert advice to help you get the most of your vacation. They are always free of any hidden fees or costs to you. Visit them at mei-travel.com.
It's time for the main attraction!
All right. And for this week's main attraction, we have big new news confirmed from SeaWorld. It's been rumored for a while, but yes, the old Antarctica ride is being turned into a new penguin-themed roller coaster. We have seen similar things happen out west with Wild Arctic Attraction. And we also saw Busch Gardens in Williamsburg gut their Dark Castle Dark Ride and stick in a coaster. And this new family roller coaster, a straddle coaster, a snowmobile style coaster, is going to look very familiar if you've seen those other SeaWorld attractions. So what they're going to do here is take the Antarctica ride, which was a very innovative, very expensive trackless dark ride. Actually, the first trackless dark ride in Orlando, coming in ahead of even Ratatouille. It's been defunct and abandoned for quite some time now. They are going to take what was the footprint of the ride and turn it into the loading section and a small indoor dark section for this roller coaster. And that roller coaster is then going to go outside the building and be I don't know about high speed. It will be a 43 mile per hour, 3,000 foot track. So we're talking shorter than Hagrid's, slower than Hagrid's, but a similar style motorbike, or in this case, a snowmobile style vehicle to Hagrid's. And then it is going to end up inside the current penguin habitat, just like the old trackless dark ride would lead you off into the penguin habitat. Well, this time you'll get off of the roller coaster and get to walk around with the penguins. What is your thought on this new attraction?
Many thoughts. Family friendly, I think, is really good because we've just been seeing at SeaWorld attractions with height requirements, and that is not family friendly. We need more of attractions like this. I'm intrigued by the indoor outdoor thing. I just love that. I don't know why. I think that it's so cool when you know, just like Hagrid's, where you're in the castle, then you're out, then you're in. I think this could be really great, and based on their track record and what they've been doing recently, I think they're going to nail this.
I think that I'm very much looking forward to getting to ride Dark Coaster to see what they can do with this kind of hardware. But here's my concern.
Oh no.
So the Antarctica attraction, when it had the dark ride, was very carefully planned so that you would enter the queue and it would be air conditioned at a reasonable degree, you know, stepping out of the hot Florida sun. And then as you go through each section of the queue, and there were various pre-shows and boarding sections, each section got slightly cooler, slightly colder throughout the ride, so that you were gradually acclimated, because when you got finally into the exit area and you were with the penguins, it is literally freezing. It is their, you know, Arctic temperatures. It is literally, you know, winter in there. But because you had kind of gone through all these stages, you hadn't just gone smack from hot Florida sun right into the, you know, the freezer, you could handle it for a few minutes and enjoy it. When they got rid of the dark ride, they rerouted the queue. They kept the penguin exhibit, but you basically went straight from outdoors right into the penguin exhibit. And whereas before I could enjoy that penguin exhibit for 5 or 10 minutes, now after a minute or two, I had to get out of there because I was just so uncomfortable. Now, imagine that you have not just walked in there, but you have been on a roller coaster outdoors in the hot sun. I'm sure the outdoor area of the roller coaster is not going to be air conditioned. So you're going to get blasted with, you know, hot air. You're going to basically feel like a French fry in the air fryer if it's August out. And then you're going to go straight from that heat and humidity into ice cold, dry air. And I fear that unless they build in some sort of buffer to help you acclimate, people are going to be not appreciating the penguins, which are really the best part of that whole facility.
But you know what?
That's my fear.
every time I'm at SeaWorld, I think it's just the cement or something. I'm always so hot.
Oh my, yes, it just reflects it back at you.
It's
Yeah.
one of the hottest parks. I always feel like I'm going to pass out if it's remotely summer time. So it sounds nice to be in the ice cold.
Yeah. Well, we will see how it works out next year. And if you, much like we've talked about with the other SeaWorld parks, purchase your 2024 annual pass now, you can get to experience it next year before it opens to the public. And they claim their annual passes start at only $14 per month without down payment. And they come with lots of other perks. So if you are excited about this, I am curious to see how they reuse the portions of the defunct dark ride. I had some friends who did some of the painting and sculpting in there, and there are some really beautiful, the ice chamber at the very beginning that your cars would dance around was a really beautiful piece of work. So I hope some of that gets retained. And I guess we will all have to wait until next year to see how it turns out.
Yeah. Yes, they're just churning them out. That is quite impressive.
Yeah, I mean, we've had Icebreaker, Pipeline, and now this penguin-themed roller coaster, Penguin Trek, back to back. So keep it up, SeaWorld.
Yes.
All right. Well, before we wrap this up, it is time for us to take a look back, see if we had any comments in the queue. We did have Blossom and Michelangelo checking in from Derrico's Corner. Good to have you as always. And Michael Bingham is very excited about the new Penguin Trek ride coming to SeaWorld Orlando. He's also excited about what's coming to the SeaWorld in his hometown of San Diego. And between that and San Antonio, yes, SeaWorld definitely seems like they're on a roll.
Love to see it.
Thank you so much to all of you who were watching and listening live, for those of you listening to the podcast. And we want to thank, of course, our sponsors, MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. And thank those of you listening for giving us a review or a rating on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you happen to listen to us. Also, please follow us, subscribe to us at attractionsmagazine.com and on Attractions Magazine at all your favorite social media outlets. Speaking of which, Carly, where can folks find you on the socials?
Yes, I am on Instagram at Adventures by Carly, and I am on X or Twitter, whatever, at Carly Caramana.
I am not really on X, but you can find me on Threads and Instagram at Skaversky and The Unofficial Guides, and on theunofficialguides.com, where you can pick up copies of my new books.
Woohoo!
And until next week, we hope that you folks stay safe, try something new, but most importantly, have fun. We will see you again next time. Bye.
Bye.